Hello to all those friends. Today you are watching the Osabroni YouTube channel, or at least the backup channel. I would like to talk about Helldrivers crossover with Killzone. And I personally would like to say that um, that I genuinely believe that this DLC, this post is not a true what's it called? Crossover, because you would think in a crossover, when it comes to these between Killzone and Helldivers, you would think that the Killzone army would exist in the Helldivers universe. You would think they would be either a friend, an ally of the Super Earth Command, or an enemy. And it's just weird that you would have the what's it called? The Killzone uniforms, armor sets, whatever you want to call them, when it comes to the sniper and just the regular infantry. It's just so weird that the Illuminate DLC, or update rather, is relatively new, and then all of a sudden they also drop the Killzone stuff. And you would think that aside from this being an armor set or something, and which you can get by pressing R and going to the superstore, and you can either buy credits or you can grind finding them in the missions that you partake for the super credits. It's not even something that you can buy from here. I guess it's like a special offer, I suppose. But you would think you would also see them on the map. Oh wow, look at that, the Illuminate doesn't exist anymore. They're just that easy right now. But you would even think that the what's it called? The Helgen forces from Killzone would also exist in the world of Helldivers if it is a crossover, or they would be allied with the fleet. There's no planet called Helgen, I don't believe, in this world of Helldivers. Let's take a look at that real quick, because I didn't do that beforehand. I don't even know where it would be in the billions of these planets, even. So, you would think there'd be like an enemy fleet somewhere, or, the Killzone guys taking over planets just like Super Earth is. Or anything else. You would see them as a friend, or you would see them as an enemy on the battlefield. And that's why I kind of think that they're not really a... It doesn't really say collaboration. It's more like what you might call a reference rather than a collab, or not collab, excuse me. It's not what you would call a crossover. It's not like a very good use of the word. It is more like a reference in the sense that Sony owns, both Helldivers and Killzone. But I don't think you could actually call this a crossover. It's more, as I've just said, a reference. And, you know, you would think you would actually see, like, if it was like a crossover, you know, you think you would see, like, dead, what's it called? You know, dead soldiers of, like, the Killzone guys, the Hellgast, I think they're called, the Hellgast. But, you know, instead, we kind of just get this, you know, it's not a part of, you know, this. I don't actually even know what this is a skin for. Provides resistance to fire, gas, acid, and electrical damage. Does the helmet do anything? Yeah, I don't know. Do we have any information about the sniper armor? This is considered light. The helmet is equipped with a lens favored among long snipers. I'm asking about the armor. I don't care about the... Well, anyway, I mean, you know, this is just another kind of paid-to-win kind of DLC. This is a high firing rate kind of gun as well. And I never used a sniper rifle so far, but I've used this. So it's just a high capacity firing guns with these, with the submachine gun and the assault rifle. But I don't know if I would actually call this, again, you know.
The Illuminate have returned.
They got their butts kicked.
Remain shrouded in mystery.
You know, no Illuminates, but it's so weird. I think to have the Illuminates. You know, first they were down here, and then, you know, they were over here for a little bit, and then, you know, I guess when I was off, they got their butts kicked. So they probably need to make a better design for the for those guys, because they're too easy, I guess. But you know, you think Helgas would be somewhere.
We must dare free our galaxy from the
it's not.
of bug and bot.
And you think that, you know, maybe there would be a change of scenery on this map, or not the map, the control deck here on the ship.
The bridge is yours, Helldiver.
Or you think it would be on the news on the little telepad right here or something like that. Well, it's just not. And there's also no new voice pack, I don't believe, for the character things. But there is, you know, a bunch of capes. There is a bunch of stuff like that. I don't even think they use capes in the thing.
Democracy for all!
Liberty, prosperity, democracy.
Liberty guides my hand.
Liberty will not fall.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, there's a bunch of little titles, I guess you could say, but it doesn't really scream the Helgast. You know, doesn't really... Kind of makes you kind of wish they added more in that regard. You know, but that's why I kind of feel like it's not a true crossover, and it's more just a reference to, you know, to the games that came before. You know, because there's no dead guys that look like this, or the other piece of armor I was wearing earlier. You know, there's no ship changes, there's no, you know, banner changes aside from the capes that you wear. There's no other technology pieces that you would see in vehicle customization in here. Okay. You know, there's nothing over here that would scream, you know, there's Helldiver, or not Helldiver, there's Hellgust technology afoot, you know, so, I don't know, I just wish they did more with the quote-unquote, quote-unquote crossover. I wish they would have done more. I wish they would add these guys as enemies or as friends. Changed up the scenery on the battlefields even. Like, I don't know, the Hellgods being the friends of the Super Earth Command Control, or the enemies that you could have fought on somewhere on the map. Or there would have been a piece of lore behind why the Hellgast weapons and armor are making it to the Helldiver arsenals, to their armorers. You know, this doesn't really speak of a... This doesn't really come off as being, you know, a crossover as though you would understand it. And, you know, it's not... It's on the Superstore, but it's not like an official warband. It's not an official warband that you could get, you know, somewhere in here. And so, you know, this is like one of those cash grabs where, you know, they reference a game and then they, you know, they move on. And I felt like, at least to me, I feel like, you know, not only could they have done so much more with this, but they also could have just, like, you know, added something like around like Star Wars, or, you know, because there are references to like Halo and Star Wars, you know, something, you know, stuff like this, like you would see like the Beach Trooper helmets or something like that. You know, the Snow Troopers. You know, we have something that kind of looks like the Scout Troopers. You know, the kind of helmets that they wear, the kind of armor that they wear. Trying to think of another good example. You know, kind of like Star Wars: The Old Republic here, if I can find the kind of correct kind of helmet, stuff like that. You know, and then of course you got stuff that's like from Halo, almost, and you know, various other types of stuff. And I think it really is just a missed opportunity just to put it all on Killzone. You know, I'm happy that it exists, but I kind of wish, you know, we had more things from like Halo, because even the squids themselves, when you fight them, the Illuminates, if I can find a picture of it, I'll probably just do that in editing, because if I don't do that, you know, here and now, if I do that here and now, then the game will just crash on me and it'll crash my entire computer, which is very annoying. But even like this too, like, you know, for the red armor at least, you know, you got your Sith Royal Guards or something like that. You know what I mean? Don't know what I think about this one. But I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Like, I think it would just been better to have like Star Wars references or even Halo references, because they do exist in the game, kind of, sort of. But you know, they didn't go all out with it, and I think that's where most of the disappointment is coming in, because it's just like, you know, there are already so many more other references that are already built in here that kind of make sense in a way that putting things from Killzone doesn't. Because, you know, in Killzone, it's, you know, human versus human, more or less, except, you know, one side is just mutated and the other one is, you know, people from Earth, so to speak. Whereas in Helldrivers, I guess you could say for the Illuminates there are mutant humans, kind of, sort of, because, you know, they do get possessed by the Illuminate or whatever, the humans that are living on the planets. But you know, it's humanity versus every other race, versus in Killzone, it's humanity versus humanity, so to speak. And so I kind of feel like it kind of doesn't really belong in this game. You know, some people could argue all the
Helldiver, take command of the galaxy's liberation.
The bots, the automatons, you know, were humans there, but they're just augmented or whatever. And, you know, whoever the Illuminates get their hands on. But there's no one off to, like, the side that's like a rebel faction that you could say, like, oh, well, these are humans fighting Super Earth. You know, like a rebel faction, maybe. You know, supposedly this is supposed to be it, but it's just like, doesn't really feel like, you know, that much of a conflict in that way. And maybe one of the things that they could do is add, you know, a PvP, you know, because there was that controversy about weapons balancing, which kind of doesn't make sense in a PvE game. But when it's player versus player, I think that makes much sense, versus just like fighting hordes of enemies. Or, you know, we could actually fight like actual rebel humans. Maybe they are advanced, maybe they're not advanced.
Signs of disloyalty should be reported to the democracy officer.
Alright, well, you know, you know, so you would think, you know, you would have Helldivers, you know, shooting the disloyal citizens or whatever, you know, because Super Earth in this game is depicted as like, you know, a dictatorship or whatever, and on Earth is 112 killed. Oh well, I guess they're getting close to Earth. No, but you know, they could have added a human faction, you know, whether it be the Helghast or Rebels, and you have to help the Helghast or whatever. But I think this really is a very strange crossover to have so soon.
Helldiver,
when
take
you're
command of the galaxy's liberation.
Up against the Illuminates also. It's just very weird. That to have them come out so soon with Killzone when you're, you know, fighting zombies and you know, alien robots, the aliens themselves. So, I mean, you know, and they could have added more with the vehicles. They could have added tanks, because, you know, it's like they also take the idea of the armored vehicle from like Halo, it's a gun turret on its back. You know, you had this fast truck or car, whatever you want to call it, armored vehicle that can run things over. So, and you know, you got guys with bicycle helmets on, motorcycle helmets on, with, you know, laser guns and rifles. And I mean, you know, why not just do a Halo,
The Galactic
Halo
War waits
reference
for
or
no
Star
one.
Wars reference?
Are you ready, Helldiver?
You know, not Gears of War. Well, even Gears of War, you know, have a chainsaw gun for a bayonet instead, or even like, you know, Warhammer. Stuff like that. You know, they could have just added that, and I think it would have been so much better. But, you know, it's not. That's why you kind of believe that it's not a true crossover. You know, you don't have human forces from, you know, Killzone, or rather, you don't have human forces from Earth from Killzone. You just have the Helghast from, you know, Helgen, their planet. So, and it's kind of weird just to have.
The siege upon managed democracy continues.
It's kind of weird
Let
just to
us
have
rally to our defense.
a faction's armor and weapons that is just known to be that's just known to be like a dictatorship openly, versus Super Earth is just like a dictatorship in secret. You know, because it's called managed democracy, whatever that means. So it's weird to see something that's openly a dictatorship versus, you know, somebody that's trying to keep it on the down low. You know, I'm pretty sure the people of Super Earth would be suspicious of, you know, why is our democracy helping a, you know, a fascist or even a communist regime, right? So, I mean, it's just weird. They could have done so
Take
much more
command
with
of
this.
the galaxy's liberation.
And, you know, that's cool. We got 8 days, I think, whatever 8D means. But, I mean, you know, add if, you know, if this really is going to be a quote unquote you know, a quote unquote crossover, then why not just have it as a war bond? Why is it only this limited time offer kind of item? So, I don't know. I just think, to me, that just sucks. So, and just not doing their part in adding, you know, more to like the space stuff, and, you know, having NPCs, you know, also look like Helgens, or, you know, the Earth Defense Force that went to war with Helgen also. But that's just me. Not a true crossover. A reference maybe, sure, but you know, add more to this, because this is just really not enough to call this a crossover. Alright, well, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching. I have been Nostrabroni, and I shall see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.